What's up, everyone? Riley here, and welcome back to the latest segment of Overkill Reviews. If you haven't already, make sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and check out that dang Patreon. If you like death metal with catchy riffs, if you like death metal that has catchy riffs, but also has loads of hugs and kisses towards the realm of hardcore, well, buckle up. Gatecreeper is putting out their third full-length album, Dark Superstitions, out May 17th, 2024 on Nuclear Blast Records, and we're about to talk about it. Based out of Arizona in the US of A and formed in 2013 when vocalist Chase came together with drummer Matt. They then joined forces with their guitarist Eric and they started blasting out tunes. Since then, we've gained the permanent addition of Alex on bass and Israel on that second axe, shredding away. Their first full length came out in 2016, the second one in 2019, and in my brain, that feels like it was literally yesterday. And in between those periods of times, they had a few EPs, a few splits, and a ton of singles. I've seen them maybe 3 or 4 times live. They've yet to disappoint me, and I also feel like they're perpetually on tour at this point. But let's see what we've got in store this time. Is it going to be one of those third times is a charm cases, a fairy tale in the blazing hot desert sun type of ending? I'm curious. What is that saying? Less is more, or simplicity is the ultimate level of sophistication, or just don't overcomplicate shit? 10-4. You got it. Historically speaking, as well as mass media jonesing for tunes go, what is it that people are typically drawn to? It's those things that are easily digestible, they're familiar, they're catchy, because they're memorable. And why are those things memorable to follow? Because they have structure, and that structure holds some level of repetition when it relates to those snappy hooks and those melodies. So hear me out. Pop songs, but make them really sick and really meaty. And of course, there is probably 100,000 really exquisite metal examples of this, but I always end up coming back to Slayer's Rain and Blood. We're talking that intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, bridge break, or hefty riff and guitar solo, and maybe even the chorus again if we're feeling spicy, and then you got the intro. This is just like the song Angel of Death per se, or so many other bangers that aren't overly complex or serpentine in their process. And every single track on this album has a solidified foundation in what it is with their sustenance and what that will provide, and there's literally no way to disappoint because it is based off of these structural, steel, enforced riffs. And the first track here is called Dead Star, and I think it is the most perfect example. And first of all, it has the best riff I've heard so far this year. It is the perfect way to open an album, and it is the perfect way to open a song. Can we please insert this here? So right after that really ripping intro riff, we go right into these thick, harsh, heavy vocals in the verse. Then we have an impeccably smooth and hefty chorus. This transitions into verse 2, and then again we've got the really awesome chorus, and then we have that hooky, lush, catchy as hell opening riff come back around again, and we finish it all off, and that's it. And we're done in under 4 minutes, and I'm more than satisfied than I have been in literally ages, and it was just that easy. 9 out of the 10 tracks on this album do not max out over a 4-minute period, and it feels like a reflection of all of the fun things that Gatecreeper have ever played around with their previous discography, that they have now fused together and cut the fat on, so we just have one hearty, healthy sitting of it all. They play around with some hardcore inspiration in the drums and tracks like Oblivion. There's rockier tunes like Flesh Habit. Chilling Aura is the perfect pace and consistency for a circle pit. They don't leave any room for there to be any boredom or gaps of filler, because right there and then we get our fair share of juice, and then we're just on to the next one. And the next one has all of the other alternative tidbits of layers and sounds that we didn't hear in the one before that. And don't even get me started on the guitar tones in this. I don't know what pedal it was that they were fiddling around with, but it's that perfect level of distortion that isn't beyond that point of unrecognizable grit. It's the attention to detail, baby. So Gatecreeper has always fooled around with a touch of Death Tomb, or slower, more melancholic lyricism, as well as riff and instrumental incorporation. Their EP that came out in 2021 is called An Unexpected Reality, and this played a lot more with the content around substance use, mental health, self-doubt, things of that nature. Heck, the record even closed with an 11-minute solid doom track that was just full of desolation and worry, and I absolutely love that kind of stuff and that incorporation and inspiration on its own regard. But now it seems that they had that moment. That moment has come and passed. That was the time of place, and we are moving forward. We are releasing those feelings and maybe even letting go, and it could just be the best transition ever. And don't get me wrong, the last track on this album completely slows it down because we're not letting go of those death doomy roots completely. But this new release holds so much more ferocity and intent for exhilaration, with just a splash of like witchy and superstition, and of course that echoing desert cavern sound that simultaneously was the best way to close the album, and I would do it all over again. So first off, I have to say I'm having a great track record this year with potent, magical album releases. Like, I am all here for it, and everything I've heard I've pretty much loved. So with this one, it's quick, it's easy, it's one of those records where you can throw it on in the car, you can throw it on when you're cleaning the house, throw it on when you take the dog out, throw it on when you're changing the baby's diaper. Who cares? You don't have to overthink it. But the thing is that if you want to, there's so many cool incorporated nuances that are built within it. So either way, it's simultaneously a win-win. And with that being said, this is going to be my second 5 out of 5 Skulls album so far of 2024. So first and foremost, I have Gurthang. They are dropping their latest full length on May 31st, 2024 on Immortal Frost Productions. It's really, really cool, black and deathy funeral doom from Poland, but it's been mixed and mastered by Nomadic Arts, which is an absolutely phenomenal sound studio based out of my motherland of Canada, and I am all here for it. Second up, if you're big on the heavy, evil, riffy speed metal, then this is going to be that release for you. I've got Bat with their latest album, Under the Crooked Claw, also out on May 17th on Nuclear Blast. It's fun with some really old school callbacks. Last but certainly not least, this is one of my favorite bands in the whole world, and I've only talked about them 899 times on here. We have FLUISTERAARS with their latest release out April 26th on Eisenwald. Their post-black metal perfection every time, except here's the catch. It's currently only available on CD and vinyl, but let me tell you, it's absolutely worth it. And I'm going to be seeing these guys in a few weeks at Fortress Fest, and I don't think I've ever been more excited to see a band before in my life. Ever. Anyways, thanks for coming to hang out with me today. I hope you guys liked it just as much as I did. Take it easy, and I will see you next time.